Now, here's an interesting topic. Men are discovering the subtle magic of fillers and neurotoxins such as Botox and Dysport. According to a new survey, the number of men using these cosmetic procedures increased tenfold last year. Dr. Stephen Hopping joins us with some of the reasons. And Dr. Hopping, I want to start by, look at this right here. This line right here, I want it to go away. And that would be Botox, not a filler, correct?
That's Botox. Dynamic lines respond better to Botox, which is a new neuromuscular modulator. Botox, Dysport. So it actually doesn't fill the wrinkle. It reduces your ability to create the wrinkle. So it's a fascinating concept. So we're actually using a neurotoxin, a poison, to rejuvenate the face.
That doesn't sound healthy.
Well, you know, when you think about Western medicine, you know, all medications are toxins in a way. You know, things like digoxin, that's a poison. But it's also a heart medication. And so in Western medicine, we use a lot of toxins in the appropriate doses, though.
Right. I definitely can, I can feel that, Dr. Hopping. So fillers, I mean, in general, what are fillers? What's the difference between Botox and a filler?
Well, again, Botox is more for dynamic, like here and here, whereas fillers are more for static wrinkles, smile lines, marionette lines, frown lines, fillers.
Do you get a lot of men coming to you for these treatments?
Yes. Well, you know, over the past few years, men have come a long way. They now represent about 30% of the clientele who do these fillers because they're easy, there's no downtime, there's no scarring, there's no stigmata of surgery, and it's easy.
Are men older who get these procedures?
Not necessarily. You know, a lot of men we're competitive. We're competitive socially. We're competitive professionally. We're competitive athletically. And aesthetically, exactly. So, you know, we're looking at a mirror. If thinking something pops up that we didn't have 2 years ago, then they want to do something about it. And they can these days.
So men and women, we know they age differently, don't they?
They do. Somehow men have convinced women that men age better than women, which is not necessarily true. Again, men, we never get those little vertical lip lines that women get, the smoker's lines, it just doesn't happen in men, and it drives women crazy. But that's a place that women use fillers. We don't need it there. But men do, we lose volume, so men need to add volume to their faces to look more youthful.
Men and laser hair removal, where are men getting that done?
Well, again, this is another.
What spots on the body?
You know, a hairy chest is no longer considered sexy in some situations.
And neither is a hairy back.
And a hairy back is particularly not desirable. So that's usually, as you can see in this picture, the laser removal of the hair from the chest and the back works very effectively. It's something you have to do again and again. But again, with time, it continues to improve. Some men, people who have the hairiest back, also have the least amount of hair on their head. So sometimes they have a double problem.
As you look at me.
No, I haven't seen your back, so I can't comment on that. But so those gentlemen need to think about putting hair onto their head, you see, because they have hair loss, male pattern hair loss.
And that's a perfect segue. Hair loss is a problem. I lost my hair over 10 years ago. What's new on that front?
Well, 50% of men have thinning hair, and it's a big issue. Either, you know, guys like you who with that perfect shape head can shave their heads, and it works really great. Jordan does it. A lot of stars are doing
Andre
that.
Agassi
Yeah,
did it.
exactly. But a lot of people want to replace what they've lost, and we can do this now and do it nicely, naturally, with monofollicular hair grafting. That's the key term. 1-2 hair grafts. It looks natural. No more plugs. If it's a hair transplant, and you can tell it's a bad hair transplant.
And lastly, Dr. Hopping,
Yes.
as we wrap it up, can we put all of this under the category of manscaping?
Yeah, I think this is the metrosexual trend of, you know, manicures and, yeah, men, as I say, they're very competitive. They want to stay youthful. They want to stay sharp. And in a town like Washington, you know, you have to be that way.
Got to feel your best, be your best, look your best. Dr. Hopping, thanks for the tips.
Pleasure.